Hey guys, it's Chris you're seeing here back from C&H Small Engine again for another review video. This one deals with a snowblower for obvious reasons because it's winter time right now over here, and it's the first week of January, so this is the perfect time to do stuff like this anyway. So without further ado, we got a black Sears Craftsman snowblower. This is a what we want to call non-self-propelled, basically a push model ladder. This one's slightly different variant as opposed to the typical ones that have a two-stroke snowblower on some of the smaller ones. This one actually has a converted, we want to call it, lawnmower engine for that as well, and it basically has a box on top of the engine to keep the engine warm, and it's basically winterized. It's a winterized lawnmower engine. Is basically a same style lawnmower engine they would put on, like, say, a Toro or a older Sears machine out there when they actually made the composite engines for Sears machines and MTD and some of the Toro and Lawn Boy machines as well too. This machine, I think it's about 15 or 16 years old, so it's at least a decade and a half old for our reference nose for that. And what we had to do with this machine was customer claimed the machine wouldn't start. We checked it out over here. The spark plug was basically carbon filed for one thing. The oil was basically black as sitting in there. We'd have changed it about 3 times. It did have debris down inside the carburetor. We'd replace the carburetor. Did a typical carburetor build on her. He had water and debris down inside there as well too. We had to do all that, and I think that was basically everything we had to do. Plus, we had to put a new fuel line on her last thing because the old fuel line was starting to split down by the carbs intake elbow pipe for it as well too. So let me see, get a bigger picture in the front here for the starting instructions and stuff like that. But sometimes people like to see that on there as well too, so you can see it what they have. This is a specific 4-stroke lawnmower, or I should say a lawnmower engine. It was converted over to run basically in cold environment. These ones I like putting synthetic, either 5W30 full synthetic like Mobil 1 oil or like 0W30 in there, because right now today it's about when I first got up here, it was about, like, I think 12, 15 degrees outside. I think it's about 20 something right now out here now, but let it sit overnight for a cold soak. Went out and started it probably about a couple hours ago. Took about 4 pulls to get going. I'll start up again here. You can see how this thing actually runs now after it's been sitting for a couple hours, even though it's been outside for the past couple hours as well too. So let me get this thing, guys. Let me get this thing fired up here for you guys. You'll see how this thing runs. I recommend on this one right here. This one seems to be prone to flooding if you keep on hitting the primer bulb multiple times. So personally, just turn it into the on position first. Then underneath the on position, you have your choke selector knob as well too. You just move that all the way over to the right, like so. All the way over there, so that's all the way over to the right there. Then you move your choke thing all the way over to the right as well too. Then you do not touch the primer bulb. Your primer bulb's down here. They tell you to quote cold prime it 5 times, but in my opinion that's complete BS right there for that, because my father did that out here this morning, and it basically flooded the carburetor. So I will not prime these things unless you absolutely have to, and only prime it maybe once or twice as a last resort for that specific type. So let me get this thing fired up here for you guys. So the camera might get a little bit jerky here when I'm trying to start it up. So here we go. There's 1, 2 pulls. Take it off the choke there a bit. Let it warm up a little bit there. You always gotta let these things warm up for about 5, 10, 15 seconds out there. Around about half choke. Take it off a little bit more. And it may start surging like that a little bit, but after that it should basically calm out after maybe about a half minute or a minute running after for that as well. So see the augers working underneath there. You can see that right now. Auger Clean it over good. Top off nice and quick. Working good. Shuts off nice and quick, so everything looks good underneath there for that. We can get another side picture over here for it. Still had a small amount of surging in there, but that'll basically go away after you run it for probably about a couple minutes out there, because these things have lean carburetors, as the typical lawnmower engines do out there as well too. So some of that surging can be eliminated. Other times it cannot be. So I will not be worried about that basically at all right there for that. Here's the front end again. The auger's down there. See, you can hear it sounding a little bit better now. It basically got most of the surging out on the engine, so it's not as bad as it was before. So let me go ahead and shut it off. There we go, shut off, okay. And you also have your rheostat here for the worm gear that turns your auger chute assembly right there as well. That works perfectly fine on this one, no problem at all. These machines run basically full blast the whole time out there for that, so there's no high or low speed setting on it. It's basically full speed or off on the throttle setting on there for that. There's no low, medium, or high. It's just basically on and off on the kill system right there for that. So it doesn't have any controls where you can vary the speed at all in there for that. It's not like a call it the Tecumseh Snow King engine. It's a horizontal shaft one you find on a bigger MTD dual stage self-propelled machines out there for that. So that's basically a review of the not too common 4-stroke what do you want to call it, 4-stroke Craftsman Tecumseh powered engine. I've only seen a couple of these things. I think it's locally. A couple of local guys have these things out there, and they're not too common. Most people have the typical Toro or Craftsman 2-stroke engines on most of the machines out there. So this is basically a I want to call it a rare bird out there, in my opinion, because the vast majority of people either have the bigger 2-stage self-propelled ones, or they have the smaller entry-level 2-stroke style engines. They don't have the ones with a converted gasoline engine like this one has on here for that. So if anybody has any questions, comments, whatnot, as usual, just drop me a message on my page here, and I'll see if I can answer any questions you guys have specifically about something of this nature. I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.